Welcome to TWitWoW, the best wrestling podcast made for wrestling fans by wrestling fans on the web today. I'm John. That's my cohort and commentary, Ashton. And this is the week in review, WWE Backlash Review Edition with some NXT and Evolve discussion. Um, I apologize for the volume. I have my crisp turned off, so hopefully all of you can hear me okay. No cuts, no any of that bullshit. I just have family back home and my brother is sleeping, so I want to be considerate. But I will say to open, what a backlash. I mean, this was a really fun show. I'm telling you, intimate card sizes fucking work, especially when the matches that do make the cut are quality. I don't think there was a single bad match on this card. I think I was the most bored with Gunther versus McAfee. That was the lull in the show for me personally. I think my match of the night might actually just be Cena versus Orton. It was overbooked to shit, and I know I normally hate that, but it actually really worked for me in this case. And I had a lot of fun with it. So let's get some preliminary thoughts from my core and commentary here. Partner, what did you think of Backlash overall?
Yeah, I pretty much just echo your thoughts. It was a really fun show. I agree that McAfee Gunther was the weakest match on the card. I will say that I think Penta Dom was similarly boring to me, but the other three matches all picked up the slack tremendously. Um,
Yeah.
I do think the best match on the show for me was the opening four-way U.S. title match and Jeff Cobb's return. Not even a return. This was a proper debut for him in WWE.
Yes.
Was one of my favorite moments on the entire show. I absolutely loved seeing him.
Yes.
But yeah, the main event was a lot of fun. Really enjoyed that. Apparently, that's not like a super popular opinion. Like, not everyone loved that main event. There are a lot of people who were really annoyed by like the overbooking and stuff. And I'm happy to be on the enjoyed it side of the debate of whether something was good or not for once in pro wrestling.
Definitely. I mean, bro, I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, truth running interference towards the end, that's in discussion for me for funniest moment of the year.
Bro, you
I just
missed
love
it on the post-show press conference. Triple H was answering questions, and John Cena came up to him and whispered in his ear. Very awkward because we don't usually have any kind of like people showing up during these press conferences. And Triple H said, "Well, I don't normally do this, but when the goat comes up and does something like this, you let him do his thing." And Triple H introduced John Cena and walked away. And Cena sat down and he said, because I don't know, dude, I don't know if you even knew this, but the last time Cena did one of these post show pressers, he had like five or six questions and he answered every single one of them with, that's a clickbait question. I'm not going to answer that.
I did see that clip, yes.
Well, this time he gets down, sits down on the chair, and he says, I have to start treating the press with more respect. I need to be more open and willing to work with you guys because you help to get more eyes on the product and stuff like that. And as he was about to answer the first question, R-Truth comes up to him and he starts talking to him. And Cena grabs the mic, pushes it away, stands up and says, Ron, if you say so, if you one more word, and you're gonna pay the consequences. And he sits back down, and Truth says more, and Cena fucking AA'd him through the table.
Holy shit.
We're doing this, baby.
You think Truth Scene is gonna happen at like Saturday Night's main event or maybe
I
even like
do,
Money
yeah,
in the Bank?
100%. Saturday night's main event for sure.
That is crazy. I gotta see that clip for myself later. Um, but yeah, I thought it was a fun match. I mean, Lyra Becky, that's where I parked my car. I mean,
Oh yeah,
Lyra, I think more than at least not since her matches with Io, because Io is just on another fucking level right now. She's the best wrestler in the world right now, as far as I'm concerned. I don't think Lyra's really gone to show her technical chops to that degree since her matches with Io. And Becky, I thought did great heel work, so I thoroughly enjoyed that match.
yeah, that was
Yeah,
awesome.
I don't think there was a single like I don't want to be here type match again. Gunther McAfee was the biggest lull.
Yeah,
Um, And yeah, I mean, Cena Truth, that should be a lot of fun at Saturday night's main event. We also have got Logan Paul versus Jey Uso. That should be interesting to say the least. I don't know. Do you want to talk about these matches one by one more in depth, or do you want to just like kind of just be like Backlash is good and move on? Like, how do you want to approach
Is
this?
there anything that you specifically want to talk about any of them?
Not really, not really, because I feel like the biggest development going forward was what you just shared, and that's Truth getting AA'd through the table, which I've got to go back and I've got to watch that. Um, and so yeah, I guess we can move on. I would just
Yeah,
say if you have a Peacock subscription, Backlash was a fun like what 2.5 hour pay per view. So like yeah,
yeah.
just
That's the other thing
go in.
too, is that the brevity is so nice.
Yes, yes.
Jacob Fatu pinned LA Knight to retain the title. There was the Damian Priest Drew McIntyre feud continuing with the South of Heaven through the tables. There are rumors that Drew hit his head on the floor, so hopefully he's okay. Um, Jeff Cobb is in WWE, and he's apparently with the Bloodline. And Jacob Fatu looked miffed at his existence.
I guess that is the one thing we could maybe go a bit deeper into because Jeff Cobb in WWE is a big fucking deal. Like I know
Yeah,
he's in his late 30s at this point, but he's
no,
still
no,
a
he's
fucking
like
stud.
43, dude.
Oh yeah, Jesus. Wait, actually, wait, did you confirm that? Because I thought he was in his late 30s last I checked.
Jeff
Or
Cobb is
is
42. I just looked it up.
that is crazy. Either way though, he's still a stud, you know? And so like, yeah, I mean he's in his early 40s, so I don't know how much they want to get out of him, but I think he still has enough gas in the tank to deliver personally.
I mean, both Tongans are also in their 40s, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. It's just a very interesting time in pro wrestling right now.
And like if
We're
you
not
line
like
up Tamatonga, Tongaloa, and Jeff Cobb and ask me to pick which one's the best one and who has the most left in the tank, give me Jeff Cobb every single time.
yeah, definitely. Definitely. He's so good. I'm really happy that Jeff Cobb is getting this opportunity. And I think there are a lot of dream matches waiting for him in WWE, and I think he's getting ready to show off and show out.
Yeah.
So really excited for him. And of course, now we're on the road to my favorite pay-per-view of the year, Money in the Bank, June 7th. So really excited to see how those ladder matches are going to come together.
Yeah, I'm wondering if we're going to even get qualifiers before Saturday night's main event.
I would like that very much because I want to know who the field is so that I know if my campaigns of Alistair and Naomi even have legs or if I have to redraw my campaigns at all. So we'll have to get those fields together as soon as possible. But yeah, Jeff Cobb would be the only thing to really talk about. I don't even know how much there is to talk about yet, except
Yeah.
to say that that was a phenomenal debut, I feel like.
We
Um,
also have like storyline progression with Penta and El Grande Americano. I think we're probably leading into, guessing eventually at least, a mask versus mask match between those guys.
I really like where your head's at. I agree completely. That does seem like
I
it's
did
on the
not come up with
horizon.
that. I should say that. I think it was Dom, or it might have been Sean. Let me see if I can find. Hmm.
I mean, our entire audience is filled with kings and queens, so it wouldn't surprise me whoever came up with it in our community. But I definitely agree. I definitely agree. That does seem to be on the horizon. Hey, Gala, great to see
Sean.
you. Bob's for Gala.
It was Sean who said Penta versus El Grande, mask versus mask coming soon.
Well, Sean is if perfection had a face, so that doesn't really surprise me whatsoever. Um, and so yeah, I'm very much looking forward to that. I don't know what Gable does after this gimmick. It's kind of a shame that his first singles championship came because of this gimmick, because he is the speed champion currently.
Oh
But
yeah,
yeah, it should be a fun match.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, I mean that's going to be a fun storyline. I don't know who Dom's next challenger is going to be. Probably AJ Styles because we know AJ Styles is facing Finn Balor on Monday, and we know that
Dude,
AJ wants the Intercontinental title.
this coming Monday's Raw looks insanely stacked. I mean that there was another match, another men's match that I remember seeing that I was excited about. Plus, we're getting the insane women's tag match, Io and Rhea versus Julia and Roxanne. My God,
That's going to be fire. That's going to be a
yeah,
lot of fun. Yeah, yeah.
it's gonna be crazy.
So yeah, I guess that's it for me from Backlash because I don't want us to like overstay our welcome. Um, Anything else you want to say about Backlash?
No, it was a really fun show. Orton Cena was hilarious and genuinely compelling at the same time. Go out of your way to watch it if you haven't. It's fantastic.
All right. Do you want to talk about Evolve first or NXT?
let's work our way up in terms of like how much this shit is meaningful. Which means, yeah, let's start with Evolve. Uh, I did like Evolve this week. It was fun. We got our championships unveiled by, I wanted to call her Bobby Tyler, Stevie Turner. Stevie Turner unveiled the championships, and they look pretty good. I think the women's championship definitely looks better than the men's, but they both look pretty nice. Um, and we got some names revealed who will be competing for those titles. For the women's championship, we have, I believe it was three names revealed because it was Callie Armstrong, Kendall Gray, and Wendy Chu, but we don't know who the fourth name is going to be yet. Am I right?
True, we are thinking it's going to be Kylie Ray. Although honestly, bro, I've been thinking about it since Evolve. I want Zara Zacher to get that opportunity. I think because she beat Kylie Ray a few weeks ago anyway, and she
That
hasn't
it
been
would
in the
be
ring with women.
nice. That would be
Yeah,
really nice. And then for the men's, the only name that we have cemented so far is Super Sean Legacy, and everyone else is like, because as soon as she named Sean Legacy, immediately Keanu Carver and Harlem Lewis got in the ring and started, shouting at each other, and they were all pissed off because they didn't get the first name, and everything just kind of broke down because that also led to Callie Armstrong and Kendall Gray getting into it, which led to Kendall Gray being injured, which led to her eventually losing in the main event to Nikita Lyons, which we didn't watch, but I wanted to see who won the match because I love Kendall Gray, and yeah, she lost to Nikita Lyons. It was really gross.
yep. And in their mind, they protected Kendall Gray, but the best protection was not doing it at all. Um, yeah, the championships look stunning. I especially love the Evolve Women's Championship. Looks fucking gorgeous.
Yep.
Um, Another thing we learned on this show is that Super Sean Legacy cannot talk. The guy's got a
Oh
fucking
my
motor on
god,
him in the
yeah,
ring.
his promos are bad, bad.
Yeah, yeah. Like there was a time where I thought AJ Styles was a bad talker, but I actually think AJ's gotten quite a bit better over the years, and now he's like pretty solid. Super Sean Legacy has a long way to go. He's definitely one of those guys that like put all the EXP in the in ring,
Yeah.
which he's very solid and exciting in ring. He also had a great showing on NXT in the number one contenders battle royal, which we'll get to that a bit later in the show.
Yes.
Um, but yeah, this promo was garbage. And given that you're sharing a mic with Lexus King, that's pretty
Oh,
bad.
dude, I don't know how many people in here know what I'm talking about when I say that legendary Jumpin' Jeff Farmer promo, but that's what Sean Legacy reminded me of here with this promo. It was that bad.
I don't even think I connect the reference. I'll have to check that out.
Jumpin' Jeff Farmer has this promo. The thing is, literally, the only reason I know the name Jumpin' Jeff Farmer is because of this like viral promo that people posted online, and it's like a legendarily bad promo that's just completely and utterly lacking in any charisma or intensity whatsoever. And it's like the fucking interviewer is doing all the work for him. It's just really bad. But like it became viral because of how bad it is, and that's the reason that I know about this Jumpin' Jeff Farmer guy. But like if anyone else in our chat knows what I'm talking about, yeah, Abel knows what I'm talking about. It Yeah, Sean Legacy on the mic reminds me of Jumpin' Jeff Farmer. It's that bad. It's that brutal.
Damn. I do hope he gets better at it because he is like a younger prospect and he has time, but yeah, he's definitely got to work on it.
Oh,
Um,
here it is. I found the fucking transcript.
oh Jesus.
Yeah. Jeff Farmer said so. The situation was, um, he had a match against a guy named Motley Cruz, right? And Jeff Farmer was like, "Yep, probably the hardest match I ever had in my life, but I don't like it when things aren't going my way. Motley Cruz, you turned the tables on me. You turned the tables in the wrong way. You got me mad now. I've stood around. I've listened to everything you've had to say. I did everything necessary. But when you turn around and you backstab me one way or another and you cheat me out of what's rightfully mine, that's when I get angry. Now I'm the one doing the challenging. I'm issuing a challenge to you, Motley Cruz. Get in the ring with me. This time, I'm going full force."
You know what's still a better promo than Shawn Legacy,
I know, but
and
that's because I delivered it. To be fair, if you actually hear the original, it's way worse.
I was going to say too as a follow up, no doubt in large part because of your tone.
Yeah,
Um,
for sure. I put a little more inflection in there than there was in the original promo.
an inflection from a face of perfection. Ashton,
Oh
everybody.
shit! Yeah, buddy.
Do
Hell
you see
yeah.
how good I am for the fucking business?
For the
Pay me,
brand.
motherfuckers. Yes. Um, what else happened on Evolve? Because I know we skipped. I think didn't Gallus have a match that we skipped or something?
We no, I don't think Gallus had a match, but they did do something backstage that we skipped. I think we had Wendy Chu versus Summer Sorrell. That was pretty good.
Dude,
Um,
high key, like I love Kendall Gray, but it really is her or Wendy Chu for inaugural Evolve Women's Champion for me. Like Wendy
yeah,
Chu has been doing such phenomenal fucking work. I want to see her get rewarded. So yeah, I really enjoyed this.
yeah. Um, Jackson Drake versus Draco Knox.
Yes, I'm glad you brought this up because I actually forgot about this, but then you've jump started my memory. Jackson Drake. I know that I've been all about swipe right, because I like being correct about things. But Jackson Drake is fantastic. I love his look. I love how he carries himself in the ring. His finisher, which is like a running knee strike, he calls the unaliving, which I love that. I think that's one of my favorite finisher names in a while. So yeah, Jackson Drake.
You know,
You want to talk about packaging and presentation?
yeah.
This dude, I don't know. I'm keeping an eye on Jackson Drake. I really am. I really like a lot of
And
what
the
this
thing
guy
is,
brings to
that
the table.
unaliving finisher that he does looks exactly like a William Regal knee trembler.
And I love the knee trembler too when I was, a teenager and stuff, watching
That's
Regal
really
in his
why I'm
later
bringing
years.
it up because it's one of my favorite finishers.
Yeah, absolutely.
It
Absolutely.
looks brutal, man. Just a fucking blunt knee to the side of the head. It's like, fuck, how do you kick out of that?
I would definitely keep an eye on him as a future Evolve champion. And if he gets a contract to go to NXT, I'd love to see him with that North American title.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's it,
he's
though,
he's
as
got the
far
goods.
as what we had to talk about on Evolve this week. It was a pretty midweek. I'm hoping next week's is better.
Well, I mean, we already know that Sean Legacy is facing Lexus King, so that's a skip.
Big
And then I
oof.
think something else might be happening that we're going to skip too. I think maybe Gallus versus Harlem Lewis and Keanu Carter's
Yeah,
happening
yeah.
this week.
Next week is the Gallus match week.
Yeah, so we're already going to have two skips. So this Evolve episode, I don't know.
We
But
might
let's
only have
go.
like two things to talk about for Evolve next week when we had like three
Yes.
this week. But yeah, no, I think it's time for us to get into our NXT discussion. And honestly, I know we like to generally go in chronological order, but I feel like that would be so burying the lead here. Julia and Jordan Grace had a match, and I think Jordan was trying to kill Julia in this.
I didn't go this far, but there was a split moment where I was like, do I want to make this my worst match of the year? Um because look, you and I think we're very similar like in our wrestling philosophies. And there were two moments in this match that made me deeply uncomfortable because I'm like, oh my god, did she just break Julia's fucking neck?
The one
Um,
suplex and then the Michinoku driver, right?
yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And then Julia did a move at one point. She did a neck breaker to Jordan that I thought could have looked a bit better. Like it didn't look totally like snug and secure. It looked more like she did a neck breaker by the hair almost. It was weird. Um, the latter portion was okay with like the strong style stuff. But here's the thing: since Julia seemingly made it out okay, you kind of shot yourself in the foot anyway doing this kind of match because I think it got Julia even more fanfare.
Yeah.
They're clearly trying to make her go heel, but dude, that crowd was behind Julia towards the end of that fucking match
Yeah.
because they
They
saw
were
she
rooting
almost
for her to
fucking died.
overcome the fucking damage from the neck spots.
Exactly. No, so like it's weird because I love Julia as a heel, but like NXT might have just cracked it for her as a baby face. Like I don't know. But that was I don't yeah, I think what I gave the match in the end was like a 3.25 or 3.75 out of 5. So like I didn't completely shit on it, but yeah, I couldn't give it even 4 stars or whatnot. I was way too uncomfortable. I was glad when that match ended. I was definitely very tense watching it. But to look at the bigger picture, Jordan Grace is now the number one contender. And I don't know, her and Stephanie could have an interesting matchup. Are you looking forward to it? How are you feeling about all this?
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to it. God, it's we have a tendency to psychoanalyze wrestlers a lot,
We do. We do. Yes.
and we whether that's a good thing or not, realistically, it probably isn't. It's probably not healthy. It's probably parasocial, whatever. But that's probably also not going to stop us from continuing to do it.
Yeah, also true.
Everything that I've heard from Jordan Grace since she's gotten in WWE, I just feel really bad for her. She just seems like one of the most insecure people. Like I feel like she's had body dysmorphia and just really insecure about her own appearance and really insecure about like her place in the world and like imposter syndrome out the ass. And I just like, honey, you were amazing 5 years ago and you're great now. And like, you don't have to do all this stuff. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
and even like this Julia match, it really did. It seemed like she was trying really hard to like out strong style Julia. And it just ended up putting Julia in danger, it seems. And I'm like,
yeah,
God, you have to do all this extra shit. Um, but yeah, I do like Jordan Grace. I just wish she would like accept her own positive aspects and traits. It's like I mean, literally, I think it was before Stand and Deliver, she cut this weird interview promo where she said that her biggest advantage over everyone else was self awareness. Do you remember this?
yeah. I remember you were talking about it on a past weekend review a few weeks ago.
She,
Yeah,
that broke my heart because it's like she's basically saying that she saw herself as a geek and she knows that that was reality and that she fixed it by muscling up the way she did. Like that's
yeah,
basically what she was saying when she said that self-awareness line. It's like, God, that's so fucking tragic and sad.
yeah,
Because she was like, as far as I was concerned, at least she already looked like a star before the muscles.
yeah,
Um, but man, yeah, like now I don't know. I do think that her match with Stephanie is going to be great. I just I as long as Julia is okay, that more power to her. Just always worry about when we get spots like that. I mean, dude, you heard Corey Graves. Corey Graves was losing his fucking mind after those two neck spots. I think he was legitimately scared for Julia too. I think
yeah,
I think his reactions might have even made us as the audience even more scared for Julia than we would have been otherwise because like they looked bad, but his reaction, like him having actually been in the ring, having had experience as a wrestler, it makes it almost like, damn, like did he see something that we didn't? That maybe Julia got injured in such a way that we wouldn't have noticed, and he did.
yeah. I mean, it's scary, man. It's not a fucking joke, and like I'm not trying to give Jordan like excess heat. I think they just wanted to have like a strong style match. Maybe they got too caught up in it, but like from a company perspective, I look at Julia as one of the biggest gets I've gotten in the last few years. Protect your investment. Like I don't know. I know you can't put them in fucking bubble wrap and all that stuff, but I just feel like there was a better way to have that match. I'm just glad it's over. I'm glad that Julia seems okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was crazy. That was crazy.
And yeah,
Um,
Jordan and Stephanie are I guess is their match going to be at the next PLE, or are we having like some kind of TV special
I
before
think
then?
it's going to be a battleground on. I think it's May 25th is battleground.
Okay, so like 2 weeks and a day.
Yeah,
NXT
yeah.
Battleground 2025. Yeah, you're right. Sunday, May 25th. Okay. And Stephanie Jordan is one match. We've also got Joe Hendry versus Trick for the TNA title, and Oba versus Miles Bourne. That was on this show too, right?
Miles Bourne winning the
Miles.
battle royal. Yeah,
Yeah. Oh my God. What a weird fucking call that was. I don't know where the hell that came from. Like, honestly, here's the thing. I like Miles. I think he's cool, and I think it's fun that he is like a baby Randy Orton. But really, if you're gonna have a random guy, and especially a random member of No Quarter Catch Crew, get a shot at Oba, why not Tavion? What?
dude, I'm still waiting for Tavion to get his rub. Now I'm happy for Miles. I don't want to shit on Miles, but like I do agree with you. Like Tavion's such a fucking stud. I'm amazed that they're not
Yeah,
tapping into him more. It's
that's
it's
what I'm
crazy.
saying, man. Like Tavion, I mean, it's I don't know what it is about like these guys that got sent over to Noah and got over in pro wrestling Noah getting brought back to do absolutely fucking nothing. It's crazy to me.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still pissed, and I'm always going to be pissed that they did not beat Fraxium at deadline.
Yeah.
Tavion and Miles.
Why is
Um,
Josh Briggs the only guy that went over to Noah and had something to do when he got back?
I mean, when you look at the era we're in right now, and you look at where the culture's going, I think we can kind of connect the dots and
Oh,
answer our own
fuck.
question.
You're right. It's racism. Holy
Yeah.
shit. It was right in front of my face.
Yeah, that's the experience most white people, including myself to this day, still have when you unlift the mask and you're like, oh, it's racism. Because,
Yeah.
like, it is a pervasive son of a bitch. But yeah, I mean, Miles Oba should be a fascinating matchup. And I definitely expect Oba to win, of course, but really the broader implications here are what's going to happen to NQCC because Charlie tried taking Miles' title shot after he won the Battle Royal. And then Oba comes up, he congratulates Miles. I love how Oba conducts himself as champion. He believes in himself and he believes that he's Roar because he is, but he doesn't shit on every opponent until it's game time. So he actually gives Miles his props. And then Charlie is like, "Oh, Oba actually going to be facing me." And then Oba's even like, "But you didn't win the battle royal." And then fucking Miles got Charlie in hot water because he said, "Well, what was that you were saying, Charlie, about how you were going to stretch him out? Why don't you try and do that next week?" So we know next week on NXT we're actually getting Charlie Dempsey versus Obafemi, which I'm excited as fuck for.
I
And
love
then
Miles's selective hearing.
yeah, yeah, and then Charlie afterwards. Speaking of that, Oba leaves, and Charlie's like, "Well, thanks a lot, Miles." And Miles is like, "What'd you say, Charlie?" It's like, God damn, Miles, we see you. We see what you're fucking doing. So yeah, I don't know. I love NQCC. I don't want them to break up, but it seems like that might happen, and that makes me really sad. So
Yeah, I
that's
don't want to
also
see
a
them
thing.
break up, but man, their comedy still hits for me, even in these weird moments like this.
I have to trust that Mother Hen Ren can fix this, but
She definitely can. Also, just another example of WWE racism. The first dude to get eliminated in this match was a black guy named Chris Island.
oh my god. Well, it's a lonely island for him being the first one eliminated.
He got eliminated
Uh,
by Lexus King, and then Lexus King got eliminated by Shiloh Hill. And then
wow.
Charlie Dempsey was out. Then Brad Baylor from Swipe Right. Then Ashanti. Then Ricky Smokes from Swipe Right. Then Tyson from TNT. Tyson DuPont. Then Thatcher. Then Nico Vance from the Culling. Then Shiloh Hill finally got eliminated. He was the 10th guy eliminated. And he was eliminated by Trick. Then Tyreek from TNT, Tyreek Igwe, then Brooks Jensen, then Tavion, then Briggs, then Wentz, then Wes, then Ridge, then Inamura. Then Joe Hendry came out, which allowed for Elijah to eliminate Trick. Then Elijah got eliminated by Sean Spears. Then Legacy got eliminated by Javon and Ethan. Then Javon got eliminated by Ethan and Spears. Then Ethan was eliminated by Miles, and Sean was eliminated by Miles. So I really I do appreciate that they used this to set up the Trick Hendry TNA title match, but they got to work on their elimination order because there was a lot of really good, talented guys eliminated way too early. And meanwhile, you let Ethan Page and fucking Ty Spears last to the very end. What the fuck?
Well, let's close the circle now from the other side. We know that this show opened with Joe Hendry and Hank and Tank versus Dark State. Sugars was not a part of this match again, unfortunately. I know we've wanted.
Oh, I didn't even realize. I think I might not have watched this match or something because I don't remember it at all.
Well, it was pretty solid, but I think the important thing that I'll talk about since you didn't watch it, Trick does come out and he starts stuff with Joe. So Joe is pretty much tagging him back in the Battle Royal. And Dark State pinned one half of the NXT Tag Champions. So I'm hoping that Hank and Tank are transitional champions and that, they got it off Fraxium, so Fraxium could be called up. And then the second half of their purpose is putting over Dark State and Dark State getting the titles. I think that would be the best fucking way to go. I hope that's where they're going. And yeah, long live Dark State. Definitely prefer them over Hank and Tank. So that was essentially NXT. Oh, and also fucking Jada Parker beat Carmen Petrovich, and it seems like Jada's going to be doing something with Thea now. So that's
Zarya
also
also beat Kalani.
yes, she did. Yes, she did. I'm still waiting for Zarya to turn on Sol Ruka, but I gotta just be
Well,
honest
yeah,
because
I was going to say, I would assume that that puts her at the front of the line for a shot at the North American title, which is on Soul. So that could lead to that.
yes. I'm also just side note, just because we're always just honest about our feelings. I think I'm starting to crush on Soul Ruko a little bit. My God, when she comes
Oh,
out
welcome to
and
the
she's just
party, bud.
yeah, when she just has that fucking title and she's in casual attire, I definitely swoon. She's a
She
fucking
is
sweetheart. So
adorable.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah, absolutely. So Zarya better not hurt her, otherwise I'm gonna be
No,
very upset
you
about it.
can
And
bet your
people
ass
don't.
she's going to.
Wow. I'd love to challenge this, but you're right. So
There's
fuck.
one other thing that I love seeing on this show that we haven't talked about.
Which was,
We got a vignette for Out the Mud. They're finally coming back.
dude, I've missed them. Oh my
Yeah,
god.
that's what I'm saying.
I was so sad they weren't in that gauntlet match. The fucking Hank and Tank won to even win the titles in the
Yeah.
first place. Um, so yeah, Out the Mud coming back. I mean, I definitely think Dark State are going to be your new long reigning tag team champions. But if somehow they don't do it because God hates me, I'd love for OTM to kind of run it back. So we'll see.
All right, man. I think that's it. I think we can move on.
All right, did you do any extracurricular this week? Any AEW you want to talk about? I know we had a great discussion
You
about
know
AEW.
what? I might have watched a little bit of Dynamite. Let me check and see if I recognize anything. Obviously, I didn't watch any of Collision because that was on Thursday and we were live for Collision.
Yeah.
Um, let's see. Did I watch any of Dynamite? I did peep some of Dynamite, actually. I did peep some of Dynamite. And you and I actually had a way too substantial discussion about Dynamite on, I think it might have even been Thursday, that should have just been a live commentary.
Yes,
Um,
yes, 100%.
so, okay, here we go. Yeah. Because Super Blue very graciously, and again, Super Blue, we appreciate you doing this, posted AEW's like little like recap that they put on their YouTube channel of Dynamite this week in our Discord channel or in our Discord server on the wrestling discussion channel and pinged us. So once I had the time, I went back and watched that. Literally within the first 70 seconds of that video, they showed Osprey saying that this isn't about your redemption, it's about my ascension twice. Fucking unbelievable. I think Osprey is legitimately garbage on the mic. He is way too try hard. He sounds like a fucking goober. And they are really just pushing him. My mom is freaking out. Yeah, it's because it sounds like there's something going on your end, man. I don't know if it's your mouse or what.
Wait, what?
I don't know. There's a sound coming from your end. It sounds like
I I don't know. I guess I'll just keep my hands on my lap. I apologize, but anyway, continue.
yeah. Um, they're really excited about Osprey when he cuts promos, and it's probably driving away fans realistically. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah. But yeah, that was like the opening segment was Osprey and Hangman cutting promos. And do you think Hangman's good on the mic? Because I do.
I do too, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I've liked Hangman promos more than I've hated them. I can't even tell you when I've hated them, especially when he's been like at the end of his rope in kayfabe. He guy has kind of like that like insane quality to his promos. Like what was his name? Fucking Lexus King's dad. What's his fucking name?
Oh
Brian
yeah,
Pillman.
Brian
Brian
Pillman.
Pillman.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Loose cannon. Yeah, he's got like a loose cannon quality to him. So yeah, no, Page is good, man. Page is solid.
Yeah. His voice reminds me of John C. Riley too.
Yeah, I can see why you'd say that.
Yeah. Um. But yeah, so that was the opener, and then we got the Don Callis family came out and talked shit about Osprey, and I think they actually set up a tag match, and it was like Takeshita and maybe Fletcher. I don't even remember. It was two members of the Callis family versus Hangman and Osprey for later that night. I think it was. Because Hangman and Osprey are facing each other in the Owen tournament finals at Double or Nothing. Then there was a four-way match: Tony Storm versus Penelope Ford versus Thunder Rosa versus Anna Jay. Of course, Tony won this. It was not even a title match; it was just an eliminator match. But Tony won anyway, so that basically kicks Ford, Rosa, and Anna Jay to the back of the line for Tony's title. Um, then we did this fucking Hurt Syndicate stuff where fucking MJF, you know, beat the shit out of Top Flight. Top Flight came out thinking they were going to get a title shot, talking about, you want to see a miracle? And then MJF beat the shit out of him and said, I hurt people, thinking he's hot shit. We got a Ring of Honor match between Nick Wayne and fucking Rhino. I didn't even see this. They didn't even include this.
I knew about this, but I didn't bother to watch it because I'm like, I refuse.
They didn't even include it in the recap that I saw, so that's kind of funny. But then we got Mike Bailey, Mark Briscoe, and Swerve Strickland versus the Young Bucks and Ricochet. And on a team also including Speedball Mike Bailey and Mark Briscoe, Swerve Strickland ate the pin to Matt Jackson in this.
I mean, it's AEW. So, that seems like peak AEW booking right there to me.
It's just egregious to me. I just will never, ever understand how so many balls can be fumbled so frequently in such tight grouping in my life. Then we got this fucking face-off between MJF and Will Ospreay in the back, and they both got right up in each other's faces and just intensely stated their respective catchphrases to each other. But it wasn't the better than you part with MJF. It was the nobody's on the level of the devil, and then Ospreay strikes back with the Will Ospreay, and I'm on another level. So they just had to bring up the level, like they're both talking about levels. Which comes back to my theory that, like, when Will Ospreay says that AEW is sports based, what he really means is that AEW is fighting video game based, because that's really what it comes down to. And
yes,
again, there are levels in video games too. Then we did Okada versus Kevin Knight for the International Championship. This seemed like it was pretty good. I didn't watch the whole match. I saw a highlight video of it. I love both of them, honestly. I think they're both great. Okada seemed to be on in this match, and an on Okada is hard to top. So yeah, cool, good shit. And then the main event was Samoa Joe versus Claudio. I didn't give a shit at all. And then more fucking rider. What are they called?
Death Riders.
Yeah, they're bullshit afterwards. Powerhouse Hobbs made the save with a chair, and that was about the extent of it.
Okay, so there you go. Anything else besides Dynamite that you watched this week?
No, I don't think so. I'm just going to say no for the sake of moving on.
All right, then I'm going to open up the forum for questions. Please, guys, any questions you had about this week in the world of wrestling, you may ask them now.
Did you acknowledge your tribal chief today for Mabel?
You're damn fucking right. I acknowledged Jacob Fatu today after that performance. Holy shit. Jacob Fatu is my tribal chief forever. And there's the wow from Abel, so that takes care of that. Any other questions?
What? Based on tonight, I think my new tribal chief is going to be Jeff Cobb, and I acknowledge him.
Fair enough.
Super Blue wants to know how we feel about the BOSJ Day 1.
I couldn't care less, honestly. So it's not being disrespectful to your question. I haven't cared about New Japan in so long. I didn't even know that Best Super Junior started today, or started whenever it did. I think I only know about New Japan stuff because of Curtis in our Discord. That's it.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Abel asking, is Jeff Cobb Samoan? Actually, no, we debunked that. It turns out he's Filipino. So, yeah. Any other questions?
Is it a prerequisite that you must be Samoan in order to be a tribal chief, though? I don't know what the rules are.
I assumed it was, but I don't know.
Is Jacob Fatu even, like, fully Samoan? I don't know.
I don't know.
I mean, I know that neither one of the Tongans are Samoan. They're Tongan. Fuck.
Foster asking, what do you see being the outcome of the Humberto Santos story? I'm thinking Humberto might just go with Andrade and maybe they tag for a little bit. And I don't know, Santos could be an island. everybody leaving him and whatnot.
Yeah, I am very interested in that match. I really want drama. I want to get more of the story extrapolated upon.
Wow, look at you extrapolated over here.
Hell
Uh,
yeah.
Super Blue asking why is Santos a bad leader? Yeah, I've never seen LA Knight lead a faction, probably because he fucking can't. So yeah, maybe instead of throwing stones, you should take stock of LA Knight's house because it ain't looking too good after that moonsault he ate tonight. And
uh,
Santos isn't a bad leader; he's a fucking winner. So
well,
that's all I'll
I'll
say about it.
answer Super Blue's question with my own opinion. In my
Sure.
opinion, Santos is a bad leader because he tries to lead by fear rather than actually leading.
Wow. Abel said, "What do you see being the outcome of the Cena Truth story? Cena just beats Truth at Saturday Night's main event. And that's it.
I think Truth turns heel, has some kind of a mental breakdown, and we get little Jimmy back.
Could be very interesting. Could be very interesting." Super Blue, who could be the third person to help Seth?
Why does
I
there
don't
need
know.
to be one?
Well, because I guess in Super Blue's mind, to be fair to him, the numbers are against Seth because it's Roman Reigns, it's CM Punk, and Sami Zayn isn't going anywhere because they didn't take Seth Rollins' offer. So, that's three guys right there to Seth and
Well,
Braun there
we
too.
how is Roman even working into this though?
Well, I mean, he got laid out by Seth on the Raw after Mania, and he still wants to
Oh,
get his hands on Paul Heyman probably more than he already
okay,
did.
yeah.
And he got speared by Braun Breaker, keep in mind. So, like, he got speared twice by
I mean,
Braun
yeah, I
Breaker.
don't know. They look into the annals of Paul Heyman interviews and see who he's talked and praised about a lot, because Breaker was the first hint on that.
Yeah, whoever will help Punk and Roman, it's not going to save them. Seth is the future. He has a vision for this business that he's going to execute. And with Braun Breaker at his side, he's unstoppable. And that's everybody else's problem. So,
I also just don't know when we're gonna see Roman again. Like, I feel like he's. I don't know. I really. That's the thing with Roman. It's hard to say because he might not be back for a while, and even when he does come back, there's no guarantee that he's going to be working with CM Punk. That seems like a weird thing. He probably hates CM Punk.
yeah. Abel asking, how do you feel about the return of Zach Gallen? I think I expressed myself perfectly in the Discord, Abel. I don't know if you saw my message about it. I'm just going to read it again as my answer. I don't think I have to go that far up, although we are a
You
very
might.
active server.
Yeah, it's been a while.
We are a very active server. But I essentially said, like, for me, it's still pro wrestling using disability as like sympathetic kind of pops whatever. Okay, here's what I said. I'm just gonna read the whole thing. Because I posted the clip of the video of Ricochet stealing his leg. And I said a while back, I felt really inspired to do a recording about how I would love a disabled wrestler who was a monster heel, subverting so many disability tropes. I had this vision of a one legged wrestler who actually does wrestle with his prosthetic and dominates, but then just to fuck with their opponent, they fight on one leg and squash them even harder. Then you have a babyface down the road come along, maybe catch the guy in a cradle when he enters the prosthetic free stage of the match, feeling cocky, and then the heel tries to use ableism to get a rematch. And I had him say something like, bet you feel like Hulk Hogan beating Andre beating a one legged man. Shit like that. I said, when I see Zach in this segment, his disability used as a means of exploitation for a cheap heat by Ricochet, and really I should have said by AEW for Ricochet's benefit. I feel my sentiments about disability and heels renewed. It just feels so tired and banal to me. So yeah, I want more complex, nuanced characters. I don't want disability. I mean, it's kind of the new foreign heel of our age to me. That oh my God, they're disabled. They're so sympathetic. They're so inspiring. I want them to be baby faces for other reasons because they do the right thing or they're intelligent. That's a fucking rarity, or whatever. And even more daringly, I would love disabled assholes. Again, like my fucking fantasy character that I made up here. Um, so yeah, I didn't care for the segment. I'm hoping Zach's living his best life. I know he had addiction issues after WWE and they paid for his rehab, and it seems like he put that behind him. I have nothing against the man or anything like that. I just feel like the way disability is used by pro wrestling, it gives me the ick, and I don't really care for it. So
Yeah. Super Blue, did you like the Paul Heyman promo on Raw, and why are people booing the truth? I don't even remember Heyman's promo on Raw, to be honest. I forget it.
I only remember certain parts of it where like he really got apoplectic that people always call him the asshole, and he said, "Not this time. This time I'm right." And even though Paul's been a piece of shit IRL lately, I will say that promo was hard relatable. Like,
Nice.
so I definitely felt him on that one. But yeah, I don't necessarily disagree with Paul, particularly for betraying Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns treated that man like shit. CM Punk, I mean, fuck Punk, but Punk was actually a bit better to Heyman. But he's with Seth now, and Seth has only threatened to stomp him. He hasn't actually done it, so it's already a healthier relationship. So
Seth
we'll
saved Paul Heyman's life when he chose not to stomp him.
exactly. And when you have power and you don't abuse it, I mean, that's where I stop relating. But I mean, yeah, you're kind of beholden to that person for the rest of your fucking life. So get comfortable, Paulie. This is the last time you're ever going to be for the streets. All
Until
right.
he's not.
Wow. Well, I did say you can't turn Heyman into a housewife, so,
Yeah, you know that better than anyone. That was practically your philosophy going up to that match.
I honestly love how much he cheats on people. He's wonderful as a character. Human being, character, yeah.
Yeah.
Any other questions?
Let's start our countdown, bro.
All right, going once, going twice.
Oh,
Who
who
should
should
win
win
the
the
Evolve titles?
Evolve titles that are in the four-way? Well, here's the thing, Super Blue. We don't know who all is going to be in the men's four-way other than Shawn Legacy.
Yes.
And we don't know who the fourth woman is going to be either. We
Although,
just know three of them.
although I'm presuming either Zara Zacher or Kylie Ray, and I'm assuming it'll just be Kylie
I
Ray
just
at
hope
this
it's
point.
not fucking Nikita Lyons. That's worst case scenario.
I don't think it will be, but I could see why you have the fear.
Because she just beat
Um,
Kendall Gray, and Kendall Gray's already in it.
yes. Um, but as far as like who I think will win, just from what we know, I do think Shawn Legacy's just gonna win the Evolve World title. It seems like they're all in on that dude. Like he did really well in the NXT Battle Royal. I think he came down to like the final five or some shit.
Yeah.
So they're heavily invested in him. And as far as the women's title, honestly, Kendall Gray will get her time, and she's got plenty of time. I'm honestly pulling more towards Wendy Chu with each passing week that I'd
I
like to
would
see win.
love it if Wendy Chu would be the inaugural champion.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. Especially because you never know when they'll start having Kendall Gray work more babyface, and that could be a fascinating matchup too, a babyface Kendall Gray versus Wendy Chu. Yeah, so that's that. And then Abel asked, "What do you think Charlotte and Alexa chatted about on SmackDown?" I think Ashton had the correct idea. He said he had heard rumors about them doing a faction with Becky that would be like NWO main event mafia style, and please kill me because I really don't want to be there for that.
Bitter
Um,
Vince, who think they're owed more respect than they get.
Yeah, thanks. I hate it.
TIHI,
Yeah. Um,
aka
Foster. Wow. Foster asking.
Self Pop.
Wow. Foster asking, have you walked with Elijah today? Every day. I mean, that it was great to see him back on NXT. That was really cool. And there you go.
Yeah.
Um, who attacked Gray on Evolve in the back? Be amazing if it was Carly Bright. What a heel turn.
Wait, what do you mean? How, did someone attack her?
That's apparently what Cerulean was implying, but I didn't think it was an attack. I thought it was just the brawl in the ring
Yeah, it was just a
that, like, yeah,
brawl.
yeah. So, like, did you even watch Evolve Super Blue? Like, what's going on there? Um,
Callie shoved her, and they got into a scuffle.
yeah. Abel asked, "Was that Ashton's mom who popped big? That was awesome." Yes, yes, Abel.
Yeah.
Yes, it was. All right, I think I'm gonna close the gate here because I want to get out of here. So let's get into our next segment: high spots and low shots. Um, I'm gonna say my low shot's Randy Orton.
Nice.
He was about to punt John Cena, and then R-Truth stopped it. And all he could do was just RKO his frustrations away until he got Shoryuken in the nuts. John Cena definitely
Shoryuken!
John Cena taking low blow lessons from Nakamura. God damn, he buried that in there. What an uppercut. Um, so yeah, Orton's my low shot. Who's your low shot?
Honorable low shot's gotta go to R-Truth. What a rough time he's had over the last few hours. I mean, he pissed off Randy Orton and got RKO'd, and then he pissed off his own personal childhood hero and got AA'd through a table. That is rough.
Self-inflicted and deserved, as far as
Yeah,
I'm concerned.
but my actual low shot's gotta be Julia, man. I mean, Jesus Christ. Not only did she get the shit kicked out of her, narrowly avoiding a broken neck, but she did, in fact, lose a contendership match, and she is no longer in contention for the NXT Women's Championship.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. High spot for me.
Ooh. Oh.
Oh. Okay.
Oh.
You know what? My high spot's going to be Miles Bourne
I
because
love that.
NQCC hasn't broken up yet, which means NQCC is in the NXT World Title picture via Miles Bourne. So, yeah, NQCC is the way to be, baby. And yeah, that's it for me. So, who's your high spot?
My high spot. Let's see. All honesty, I can really just not beat around the bush here. My high spot's John Cena. He's on absolute fire. He cut a fantastic promo on Friday. He wrestled a great match tonight, and he retained with help from someone that he doesn't even fucking like right now.
Bro, those hair transplants are paying dividends. Holy fucking shit.
It's funny too because one of the funniest jokes in one of his movies, Ricky Stenicki, is him referring to the guys who hired him to play their friend's boss, uh, having hair transplants, referring to them as seedlings, and his boss being like all offended by it, like what? What? How dare you? It's like, bro,
Yes.
John Cena got his own seedlings now.
Peacemaker 2 is looking fire, by the way, or
And
Peacemaker
that's
season
another
2.
thing that happened this week, so that can be part of my John Cena high spot.
I mean, we usually try to keep it to pro wrestling, but it's our fucking show, so you're damn right it can.
Hell yeah.
Um, so way
I
to
mean,
go,
when Liv
Cena.
Morgan's movie drops, if it has a high Rotten Tomatoes tomatometer rating, and if she does something cool in wrestling that week, it's open fucking game to make her a high spot for that all.
Fuck yes.
I am looking forward to that, seeing what kind of role she's going to be in that movie because I don't know anything about it.
I don't either. I'm going in
I
completely
know she
blind.
was in that Chucky show to get killed once.
Yes, yes. Um, wow. Super Blue gave himself the low shot times two because he wasn't able to protect LA Knight or Jade Cargill. To be fair, Super Blue, Jade Cargill doesn't need protection, and LA Knight
Wait,
is
no,
so
I
much
think
of
he
a
was
shitter.
just saying that he wasn't able to protect LA Knight, and then he was making Jade Cargill another low shot.
Oh, well, Super Blue, if it makes you feel any better, he's so much of a shitter, no amount of protection would have helped him. So it's okay. Um, and he's not winning Money in the Bank, Super Blue. I refuse to give that to you. This is my pay-per-view, mine. But with that said, do you have any concluding remarks?
No.
Excellent. All right, guys, this has been the Week in Review. Thank you so much for joining us. We are the best wrestling podcast in all IWC. That is TwitWoW. I'm John. That's my core and commentary action. Be sure to leave a like as you file out. Subscribe to the bell icon notifications so you miss any of that TWitWoW goodness. Check out everything we're involved in the description box. Follow us on Blue Sky and Twitch because we are the best wrestling podcast in all the IWC. And we will see you guys again on Tuesday at 5 p.m. for more Stardom coverage. We're doing the May 6th show and New Blood 21, 6 matches total. And then we're not going to be doing any Stardom this Thursday because the Korakuen show was fucking ass. So yeah, if you enjoy our Stardom coverage, just be there Tuesday at 5. And then I guess yeah, our next show. Do we have a Money Gold this week, or is it just going to be in review again?
Wednesday.
Wednesday. Okay, so Tuesday at 5. Wednesday, is that going to be at 6 or 5 as well?
6.
6. Okay, so Tuesday at 5, Wednesday at 6, and then yeah, then in review if you're just here to talk about that American wrestling at 10:30. So be there, guys. We'll be happy to have you. Have a great rest of your weekend, everybody. Be good to yourselves and each other. Tune in and peace out.